Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads web hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads web hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads, episode 33 this week. Wacky do. The 16th of April, 2015. It's all mid-autumn. Jesus, and it's getting cooler as well. All right, so we've got a good show for you this week. We've got a special guest. He's back. Frank's back from scopeiteducation.com.au. We're gonna check in with him and see how it's all going, how the kids are learning, and how it's all panning out for him. But before we do that, let's have a chat to Jace. We'll catch up with Jace first, I think. How you doing, Jace?
Yeah, not too bad. How's yourself been?
Yeah, not too bad. What have you been up to this past week?
Another podcast.
Oh, that's right. I saw you've got two new ones this week, and that's because they're on the radio starting tomorrow, aren't they? The old
I actually recorded all of the voice this time, so we've got Bev again.
So what was the last time you recorded? Just you or
a few weeks ago, we recorded a whole show with her, and then I found out that because of some changes I'd made in the application, I only recorded my voice and nobody else's for the whole show. So we had to throw that out, and Will and I redid it, and she couldn't make it because she had other commitments. So this time we got everybody, so it's great.
Good stuff. So that's all. So it's obviously on iTunes and your favourite podcatcher, or you can, if you're lucky enough, get it in the run on the aussietechradio.com, which streams 24/7. Good stuff. And I saw those today actually when I was getting it ready. All right, let's welcome back Frank. How you doing, Frank?
Very good, Glenn.
That's good. And what have you been up to? Busy?
Yeah, very busy. Ever since the podcast last time, things have moved on. So
skyrocketed.
I'm keeping pretty busy.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent. And so bring us up to date with what's your areas have kicked off. Schools are in there. They're teaching the stuff. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, so far we've sort of just started lessons coming into this term. We've spent the last term doing some trials with schools and speaking to principals, and funnily enough, we had our first school actually book after listening to your show.
Excellent stuff.
So that was it wasn't what we actually intended. We were looking for franchisees, but instead we found schools. So we won anyway.
So
it's going really well.
Excellent. So then along with so because the school contacted you, does that go into a franchisee's area, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a franchisee. It's in the northern part of Sydney. So that franchisee now goes into the school and will teach those kids all the courses that the school has selected to have their kids learn over the coming terms.
Right. Okay. And so that's excellent. I'm so happy to get that feedback that the principal was he heard you on the show. That's excellent news. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he might be listening to this week. So hello to you.
I reckon he will be now. So thanks, Glenn. It was great to have you as our first principal on board.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's start off with if you're wondering where Will is got Skype issues, and he may join us through the show at some time. But he's rebooting. He's done a rebooted thrice.
He's just said Skype's not working. He's completely out. He's not going to be on.
Oh, okay. So what's going on with his computer, Jace? What's happening?
When has his computer worked right?
Didn't he get a new one?
Any of his computers, he's got completely new computers all the time, and they just keep dying.
I reckon he's static man. I reckon he touches it and just statically charges it.
He's like the opposite of King Midas. Everything he touches turned to crap.
It might be. Oh, look, I was looking forward to catching up with his Android news, but
yeah, it took us a while to get our show started the other night because he tried Skype, that didn't work. So we tried that new one that he found for you, that didn't work. So he tried Hangouts, that didn't work. So we went back to Skype and eventually got that going enough.
What's up with Skype? Like, I don't understand what
Talk
was
downhill since Microsoft. Just wait for Minecraft to now go bad.
I haven't had a problem. Skype's been working pretty good for me. I don't know. It's other than it's hard to sort of sometimes work out how to do what you want to do, but I don't know. Come on, Will. What's going on? What's going on? Maybe get Sonia to build your computers, eh? Do something like that. All right, let's have a look. I don't know. Let's start. Let's start with a story about how an ISP in Melbourne. This has got nothing to do with you, has it, Jace? Just before
we don't do ISP stuff. We do websites.
Oh, okay, cool. Just before we go on to this story, it was a negative story for them. But Melbourne-based Planet ISP has refunded a customer over $5,000 a year after being ordered to hand back the money by the TIO. Now, the customer had his phone stolen in August 2012. It was used to make 92 unauthorised international phone calls. And that added up to $5,115. Wowzers. So anyway, the customer notified the ISP, said, hey, phone stolen, stop me card, stop me phone, blah, blah, blah. The customer was still charged the cost of the calls made by the thief from the phone. So obviously the company didn't, stop the phone. So anyway, the guy went to the TIO, got the ruling for him, and then it's taken Melbourne ISP a year later. But that's a long time. I think it's that's too long. Is that too long, Frank? Is that in your business opinion? That's too long.
Yeah, that does seem like it's probably just something where they've pushed it into the back room and just never got around to doing anything by the sounds of it.
Well, they probably
but
didn't.
2 years is a bit excessive.
Yeah, look, it reminds me. Look, I went to a fair trading tribunal once. I ordered a part for my car over the phone, and when it arrived, it was the wrong part. It was very, very similar, but it was the wrong part. It couldn't be used because it had a bit of the moulding was, I don't know, was a bit of moulding was on a bit of moulding that shouldn't have been there. So anyway, it wouldn't fit. So anyway, they didn't want to take it back because I got it from a wrecker. So I went to the ombudsman or the fair trading. And, they were pretty arrogant. They didn't want to help me at all. I tried ringing them, talk to me. They got up me on the phone, all this sort of stuff. So I went to the fair trading in Victoria, it was. And so I got came to a phone hearing because obviously I couldn't go to Victoria. So I got to a phone hearing. And then the judge, they didn't turn up. So that was helpful. So they didn't turn up. The judge said, well, you better tell me the story. So I told her the story. She goes, well, we can't have any argument because they're not here. So this is only worth this was, I think, $400 or something. So anyway, so she goes, okay, granted, you win. And then when I got the money back, they paid it relatively quickly, I suppose, after they got the order. But then on the bank statement, it's got under protest, in big capital letters. And I thought, well, if you wanted to protest, you could have turned up on the phone hearing, whatever.
You had your chance.
But, yeah, exactly. But
there wasn't much of a protest, was there?
No, there was a silent one. It was like a silent auction, a silent protest. But yeah, look, I suppose people, they don't want to pay. I remember years ago, I took another mob. Remember that year 2000 bug that everyone was crying about? It's going to stop, going to stop the water's going to stop. That's right. The world.
Computer's going to blow up. Rain's going to fall up. Cats sleeping with dogs.
That's right. Do you remember that, Frank? Were you in?
I do. Actually, my friend got a job in IT purely solving those bugs.
Yeah, right.
Or bugs. They didn't seem to be that big an issue. I don't see what the big deal is if it reads a date wrong. Planes aren't going to fall out of the sky because the date.
Well, that's what they worried about, though, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I bought some of this software, to check the computer if it was Y2K susceptible or whatever. And it wasn't cheap; it was about $500 or something. But where the bloke got me was he told me that it was being used by Coca-Cola and all these big companies. And then, so I sort of said, yeah, okay. I said, well, if everyone's using it, I'll buy it. So when I bought it, it sort of came in this really dodgy looking package. It was just dodgy. And I thought, what is this? There's all these big companies really going to use this. And so I started looking into it, and I found out that no, these big companies weren't using it. And then his web page was different to the international, and it was just a big dodgeball. So anyway,
Dodgy brothers.
I took him as well. I'm a serial litigator.
You sure you're not American?
but yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? I've only had
It's
two
good to
over.
stand up for
It's
what's
for you.
important.
Yeah, I've only had two in
Not
10
good fun
years.
for them.
No, probably not. No, but I'm just saying. And he protested. He didn't want to. He didn't want to pay me, but in the end, I have to. But anyway, well, that was that went off on a bit of a tangent. That story, didn't it? You had any experience, Jace, with fair trading or anything like that?
No, I haven't had any problems like that, thankfully. Fingers crossed, touch wood.
Yeah, as long as it's not too bad. That's just the way it goes. All right. Well, let's have a look. Ask Jace what he's got for us. Did you get any stories this week, Jace?
Yeah, well, everybody knows that Netflix?
Next flitch.
That's a new one. Netflix has launched in Australia now, but they may have signed a deal to give Optus and iiNet customers unmetered streaming of the service, but it appears the company now regrets the decision. A streaming service argued that signing unmetered agreements with internet service providers weakens their fight for net neutrality, the principle that ISPs and government should treat all data equally on the internet. For a number of years, Netflix has been publicly battling American ISPs over the issue. Now the company has been unwillingly joined the fight in Australia. Data caps inhibit internet innovation and are bad for consumers, Netflix wrote in an investor note. In Australia, we recently sought to protect our new members from data caps by participating in ISP programs that, while common in Australia, effectively condone discriminating among video services, some capped, some not. Netflix said it should not have signed deals with iiNet and Optus and would avoid signing further deals in the future. Fortunately, most fixed-line ISPs are raising or eliminating data caps in line with our belief that ISPs should provide great video for all services in the market and let consumers do the choosing. So, Ed, you remember we've talked previously on this show about Telstra just randomly doubling people's caps recently and coming very soon.
And have you? And I'll tell you about randomly doubling caps. That's not how it works at all, because it was all supposed to happen on April 9th. I'm getting excited, rubbed my hands together, thinking I'm going to get some more data, phone and at home. I went, yippee! I know.
Won't happen overnight, but it might happen.
So anyway, got on the phone to Telstra, and I said to him, "Oh, listen, I read in the paper, that April 9 supposed to start getting some increases in caps. Like, not that I use my caps, but anyway, I thought I'd follow it up. I want it rather than let it, go by and maybe miss out. So anyway, she goes, "Oh, listen, that's you only get the increase in the data if you're on a new mobile plan, new customers, new mobile plan." I went, right, okay. I thought, okay, rightio. So I said, okay, all right. How about the home plan? That hasn't increased. Then I'm in for a go here, in for a show, because I've been there for ages. And she goes, no. She goes, I said, because I could re-sign. I'm out of contract, so I could re-sign. She goes, no, the home plan, you only get an increase if you're a really old customer. So for a mobile...
Wait, where's that? I'm really old. Get off my lawn. Right, how will you give me the update?
So I missed out. So mobile, you have to be a new customer, but broadband, you have to be an old customer. I couldn't win. So anyway, she goes, no.
You're as unlucky as Will.
Yeah, I know. But I just thought that was very... very strange, but that's how it works. So maybe, why are people on old plans? They're increasing the old plans. I don't know. That was just...
I'm very happy with my unlimited TPG for $60 a month. Thank you.
That's not... Oh, what about the merger? Are they going to give you unlimited Netflix with that?
Doesn't matter. The internet is unlimited, so the Netflix is relevant, how much they get metered or not.
I wonder if Netflix is... unlimited with iiNet if you're using the US Netflix. Do you reckon?
Probably not, because you'll be tunneling through to there and it won't be coming from the local server. So I'd say probably not.
What about you, Frank? Have you got Netflix or have you dabbled in any of those stands?
No, I don't use any streaming services. I watch a movie from time to time via my Apple TV. But I don't stream a lot of media personally. Yeah,
you got Foxtel, or you're just not a big TV?
Yeah, Foxtel's our go-to whenever we watch anything. So
yeah, okay, because I know that the Foxtel, which leads into another story, doesn't it? Like probably the biggest story of the week everyone's probably heard of is just the Game of Thrones. Apparently, it's don't
download it.
Do you reckon they're watching? You. Do you reckon they've put it out there just to catch people?
Trap.
It might be.
It's a trap.
I didn't think law enforcement was supposed to act like a trap. You couldn't go fishing, can you?
Well, it doesn't matter if the law enforcement might not be doing it, but the HBO or whoever might be doing it. They're not law enforcement, so where's the rule for them?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, anyway, the Game of Thrones broadcasts was the first episode was this week, wasn't it?
Tell you what happens, everybody dies. That's all that happens in Game of Thrones, especially your favourite characters.
I think you get your head cut off.
Spoiler alert!
You get your head cut off, don't you? Or blown off or something or other. Game of
They had the red wedding, so next is going to be red birthday, red, everything.
So anyway, what's happened with Game of Thrones is, how everyone, I don't even watch it. I've seen about 20 minutes of the first episode.
I watched the first 2 seasons and couldn't be bothered watching the rest. There was nothing to keep me in there.
Yeah, well, Kim just says, she goes, I'm not watching the show where people, in the first 20 minutes, I think we saw about 5 beheadings or something. She goes, that's enough for me.
It's worse. You want to watch something good, check out Daredevil on Netflix. That's brilliant stuff. I binge watched 13 episodes on Saturday.
Yeah,
that's the whole lot.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So anyway, Game of Thrones. Do you watch that one, Frank? Game of Thrones?
I do. I must say, I'm a little bit different to you two guys. Myself and my girlfriend both watch it. We're not huge fans, but fans enough to keep up to date. And we did watch the season 5 premiere last week.
Oh, so you watched it the live simulcast with the US, or did you watch it that night?
We watched it that night. We recorded it earlier in the day. I think it was on live at 11 a.m.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm too busy at 11 a.m. to be watching. Beheadings. We leave it till night time. That's our romantic beheading time.
Excellent.
It's worthwhile for Khaleesi only.
Yeah, is that a character?
Yeah, my girlfriend might be listening, so I might just abstain from commenting on
that one.
That'll be safer.
So
she's a cute girl who controls dragons.
Is that the blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always wearing like a medieval bikini.
Yep.
Right,
That's
got
the
it.
one.
I've only seen it from the ads, and I've got a picture of her in front of me actually because I did take a screenshot. But anyway, I took a screenshot of the prices, the minimum cost it would cost you on Foxtel to watch Game of Thrones is $45 a month. That's the minimum. So that you get your basic package and then plus a drama package or something. But if you wanted to watch it, it's you got to pay $125 equipment fee and a standard install fee of $75. So it's not cheap.
And if you install it yourself, you still have to pay like $40.
Yeah, so it's not cheap to kick off with. But I suppose if you're going to keep it on over time, then that cost probably you can handle it more.
Why are you charging me to plug it in myself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't sign up for it for Game of Thrones. It just happens to be part of our package. I don't think I'd plunk down, a couple $100 just to watch a TV show. I'd probably just wait for it to come out on iTunes and buy it then or something.
Well, I reckon it's not coming out on iTunes maybe until, till the season finishes for starters, and then maybe not till like February 2016 or something.
Yeah, that's what happened with the last season. Yeah, I think Murdoch signed a little exclusivity deal. So Foxtel are the only ones to have
Star
it.
Wars just came out in a bunch of places, digital.
Star Wars?
Yeah, iTunes, Google Play, a few others.
Okay. So it wasn't out before? You had to get
Not on digital, no. You had to get a media disc.
Yeah, okay, right. Well, there you go. So, anyway, where was I going with all this? HBO, Game of Thrones. That's right. So, if you don't know what's all about the Game of Thrones, so it's this big show, must be so popular worldwide that Murdoch's, as Frank was saying, he's contracted it all up. So, no one in iTunes in Australia, no one can show an episode or sell an episode until the whole series is finished screening on Foxtel in Australia.
And that's why it's Australia's #1 pirated show.
Yeah, and it looks like it's probably the world's #1 because around the world you got to have a subscription to HBO, blah blah blah. But anyway, the first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones had been leaked online. Like they must be pulling their hair out. So the episode
Apparently there were review copies that were sent out for reviewers to have a look at and give their rating before it went to air, so they could put that in their newspaper and websites and stuff.
But they'll be caught, won't they? Surely they'd be marked in some way.
You'd think so. We'll find out, won't we?
Because I think movies are, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so you would think...
Digital watermark.
Yes. So anyway, episodes of the first 4 of the new series was illegally downloaded more than 7 million times between the 5th of February and the 6th of April, according to a piracy specialist.
Fell off the back of the internet, kids.
Yeah, this was a 45% increase on the same period last year. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Look, if it's the most pirated show in Australia, the question would have to be like, look, obviously I know everyone's not on Foxtel, but I mean, I don't know. Should you be really pirating it? Probably not. Well, why?
Probably not, but exclusive deals are still going to be the thorn in the side of streaming services and such.
Yeah, well, Foxtel have got to get with they've got to look. I reckon that, as I've said before, Foxtel are just about they're going to die, aren't they? They're going the way of the newspaper. They're going to go. It'll be streaming all the way, and that's why I think they've jumped into bed with Presto.
Presto.
That's right, Presto.
Well, Foxtel themselves have even started almost a streaming service. I don't know if you guys use it too much, but there is a service on there where it is on demand that you can just pull up any series apart from the most current series, and you can just start from season 1 and play through. So they're already themselves starting to move into streaming within its own product. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they either have to move over to a complete streaming service or find some completely new business model.
Yeah, because the only other reason I could think of why people would want to download it would be maybe because I'm assuming that when you pirate it, it comes down in probably 1080, like really high def, and then on Foxtel, most people probably only have standard def. I don't know.
Ads, you watch it when you want to, and it doesn't say, hey, you should not download this video. Did you know downloading is wrong, kids? You'll go to jail if you download. Now watch the next 20 minutes of promotions from all these following things on DVD.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right.
And ads.
So if there's none of that promotional stuff, does that mean so if you download it, all that copyright stuff's gone, so that's okay to keep going?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
I mean, what's the point of putting that in the DVDs, right, and Blu-rays? Because the people who are doing it illegal are cutting all that out, so they never see it. The people who are buying it legit are the only ones that get bothered by all this crap.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's how it works, though, isn't it? Yeah, all right. Now, what else? Have you got anything that you want to talk about, Frank?
I've got a short story here. I read on CNET that Google wants parents to be able to more easily figure out which apps are family friendly. I guess this ties in a little bit to what we're doing with our kids, so that's why I brought it up. And Google said on Tuesday that it announced a new program called Design for Families, which designates which apps are in its Google Play stores are safe for children. So Google said that it's chosen to do this because it wants to support app makers and content creators to be able to tailor their content specifically to family and kids. And I just think it's a really interesting take on Apple Store where they segment the apps, but they don't actually have a separate rating where it's designed specifically and rated specifically for kids.
Right.
So I think it'd be really interesting for a parent to be able to, hand their iPad or their phone to kids and possibly, I'm assuming they could lock it down to only be able to buy apps from that section. So I just thought that was an interesting thing that Google are bringing out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what else would work with yours? Your stuff is also Google now bringing out kids-only accounts for YouTube so that they don't see any stuff they're not supposed to. And in fact, they have an app in their app store called YouTube Kids from Google Inc. that only lets you show stuff that's rated for kids.
And
yeah, absolutely. I think the internet's becoming so big now that they're starting to tailor things to specific needs, and it's great that they're making a safe haven for kids online.
Yeah, so I think I read a story. I didn't copy it down for tonight, but there was something about that there was a bit of a blue, although there was the YouTube for kids, but there was a bit of a blue about the ads that were being shown. So I'm not sure if they're getting served from the same YouTube server or whatever, but I think there was a bit of a blue over that.
I did hear that. I heard somebody said they had their kids watching a kids show and an ad for what's that latest 50 Shades of Grey theme on during a kids show.
The kids don't want to see that.
Yeah, I can't remember where that was, but I did hear it on another show somewhere.
Yeah, so obviously the ads, they mustn't have fine-tuned it yet so that the ads you've probably got to rate the ads as well or target rate the ads.
Part of the worst thing is having ads built into games like on Google Apps and iTunes is that it comes up with an ad. You click on the ad, which takes you into YouTube, and then kids can there click on similar videos to this, similar videos to that, and then suddenly they're watching stuff you don't want them to watch.
Now, I'll tell you, look, Frank, I was just looking through the course content that you guys do inside the schools there, and for years 1 and 2. Now, can you tell us, if you can, what digital citizenship is all about?
Yeah, sure. It's actually It's probably the last course we actually designed. We didn't really think about it, but it's pretty much one of the most popular chosen now from schools. And essentially what it does, it's a shorter course, it's a 5-week course, but it teaches kids from any age, from year 1 through to year 8 and 9, where we're teaching now. And it's how to be a digital citizen, which means, how to behave online, which includes personal behavior with, things that you should post, shouldn't post, or the ramifications of what might happen with your content that you're posting online. Through to how you interact with people. We find that some kids are bullying kids, but not even by choice. They don't realize that what they're doing is being taken a particular way. So the course just goes around, being safe online and how to interact and be a digital citizen in the year 2015.
Yeah, that's all right. And look, I noticed a common theme across your stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and 4 is Minecraft. That's a big part of the learning. So it is.
I've never heard of it. Minecraft, what's that?
In saying that, the schools so far haven't really taken it up. We have a lot of schools that do it already. So it's one of those courses that we're happy to offer to schools that don't have a Minecraft server. But yeah, it's really good to see schools that already have this type of tech in place, and it's fantastic that some schools are forward thinking and designing programs around what their kids actually enjoy and will engage with.
So some schools will have a Minecraft server.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. I did not expect that at all.
No way.
It's pretty phenomenal when you hear schools that have programs around it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you heard of that, Jace?
Yeah, my daughter's school, because my daughter is Minecraft. She'd mentioned it to her teachers, who'd mentioned it to the principal, and then he talked to me in an email. He's going to mention my server, that I've got a separate server just for my daughter and her friends, and advertise it in the school bulletin for the other kids to be able to join if they thought of it. But he never got around to printing that, so it hasn't happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's all right. That's pretty good. So yeah, so there's heaps of other little things. And I know in the one of the blurbs there, you've got 3D printers. Is that a popular course or popular topic amongst the kids?
Absolutely. Every one of our instructors has a 3D printer that they take to schools.
Nice.
And if a school does want to choose 3D printing and design, we take them out and we teach the kids how to use some 3D design software. It's very similar to like a CAD program, and we actually print out the little objects that they design over the weeks, and that's really popular with both schools and the students. The students love it. To be able to print out their own toys is very, very popular, obviously.
Now, also, apart from the learning part of what you do, this is also a business opportunity for people, and you've recently been to the Franchising Expo, which was in Sydney. How did that go? Did you go personally, or someone from your team?
Yeah, sure. There were 3 of us down there, myself and 2 other founders, and we went down and sort of to showcase to the public what it is that we're offering in regards to a business, and it was really good. We had a lot of interest. I guess it's something a little bit different to your coffee van or your Subway or things like that, because food retail is very popular in the franchising sector. So we had a lot of interest. In saying that, it is a little bit niche to be in both technology and education. So it's only for the certain type of people, but for the people that it is right for, they're very interested. And I actually believe we just sold a franchise that was a lead from the expo today, so that was a good day for us.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, I think I was just reading your blurb here as well about the franchisees. Now, you don't have to be a technology guru. You don't have to be a tech head to actually take part and to want to take up a franchise and go into a school with it. So you're just looking for a positive person, maybe some children's skills, I would guess, if you want to do it yourself. Is that how it works, or do you find franchisees would normally hire a teacher to do it, or would they normally do it themselves?
There's different options. In general, so far, most people are buying it as a business owner and are looking for teachers and tech experts to give those lessons.
Right.
I mean, saying that, though, if you're someone who loves tech, well, you do have one franchisee who loves tech, and he has actually hired a teacher, so they'll work sort of in collaboration in the classes.
Yes.
So it really depends, but mostly we're looking for people that are motivated and self-driven to want to own a business, and we can teach them the tech. That's no problem.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, it's not strictly for someone who's into tech already.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to know more about that franchise opportunity, you can go to scopeiteducation.com.au, fill out the little form, a little contact us form. I'm not sure, can they contact you on the phone, or is it just through the form? There is a phone number?
There is a phone number there,
is a
but
phone
in
number.
general, we prefer email so that we can make sure that we start getting some details with people, and we can try and
Yes.
coordinate a time that's best to speak, because conversations usually go for a while when you start talking
Yes.
about a business that you might want to get into. So
Yeah, sounds very exciting. Excellent stuff. All right. Now, let's have a look and see if we've got any... What else have I got to talk about here? Let's go back to the top. Jay stole one of my stories. The WWDC 2015 dates have been announced. For the lucky...
Yes, and Apple have said they're banning any selfie sticks.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Why is
they specifically named it. Yeah.
Big news.
So I don't get it. That's not the first place I've heard banning a selfie stick. Are they worried about people poking people's eyes out, or why are they being banned?
Maybe because you look like an idiot, I guess.
Too touristy or something.
Yeah.
So fair income, they're getting banned. I think that's crazy. But anyway, the event takes place between the 8th and the 12th of June at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. Now, you too can attend if you're lucky enough. Apparently, you get picked out. It's a raffle, and then you got to part with $1,599 US. That's $1,599 US. Whew, you must have to be keen, wouldn't you? Registered Apple developers can apply for tickets, and there's a link in the show notes if you want to. I'm not sure if any of our listeners are hardcore like that, but you never know. Then between the ages of 13 and 17. Wow, you'd have to be pretty good. Maybe one of the graduates from a Scope IT education course would attend in future years. Be sponsored to go over.
That'd be a nice news story for me to read, that one of our kids have gone across and
wouldn't it?
made something big of themselves.
Yeah, so you can get in there between 13 and 17 are also welcome. So you'd have to be pretty smart, wouldn't you? Yeah. All right, so that's the WWDC. Look, the Apple Watch, when is that due out? I think you can buy them now, but the people who buy them now can pick them up on the 24th, I think.
Yeah.
Something
The Apple actually rang me today to invite me in to test them out. I politely declined. It's not for me, the Apple Watch. I'm a fan of Apple products, but I just don't think the watch is something I'm too interested in.
So did you obviously didn't pre-order then? So, there's
No.
Jace's. What's that
Pebble.
one? Pebble.
Pebble for the win.
So how come they rang you up? They just thought you'd be interested?
We through the business we have an Apple business relationship.
Cool.
We use a lot of Apple products, so they gave us a special invitation to go in and try it out, which is great. They're really good to work with on a business sense. I must say, Apple are great. But on this instance, it's not something we'd pursue.
Yeah, okay. It's not something like I like the stuff, mobile stuff from Apple as well, but it's not something I would probably do either. I'm just not into it. Well, how do you find your watch, Jace? Like, you're obviously happy with it. You got it on.
Great, yeah. One of the features that I really like about it is the quick SMS replies. You can set up about half a dozen to a dozen, depending on if you pay a couple of dollars or not, canned responses. And then if somebody sends you a message while you're just walking along, instead of pulling out your phone and then opening it and then hitting reply and typing in your message, you can just press a couple of buttons on your watch and send a message to them to say thanks or yep, I'm on it or cool or whatever.
But how do you
Very
type
quick and
on
easy.
it? How do you?
You don't. You type the message as a canned reply on your phone, and that syncs to the watch. And then when you get a message that's been sent to you, you just hit reply and then press down until you find the one you want. Could be 3 or 4 presses, and then hit send, and it'll send no or yes or cool or whatever's already pre-programmed.
You know what would have been cool is to get more screen real estate. They should have come out like with the flip watch. You know what I mean? So when you get a message, it flips up, and then there's 2 screens, like the old Donkey Kong games or whatever.
Dual screen, yeah.
You know, and it just flips up.
Pebble DS.
How cool would that be? And then you got 2 screens to look at.
Yep.
I don't know. I should be an innovator, shouldn't I?
You should be on their design team.
I know. I should be. I might get a prize at the WWDC. But how's that? That'll come out. You watch now that we've said that. Someone will bring that out. A flip watch.
You got to trademark it, dude.
Oh, talking about trademarks. Look, I've got a story about trademarks. Let me find it.
Nice segue.
Yeah, the podcast patent troll faces a blow after a US ruling. So there's this company that's going around saying we invented and patented the way podcasts work and all that. Now
He's going after Adam Carolla and everyone, big stars.
yeah, so he's it's CNN and everyone. So apparently there's a couple of places that have actually paid this company money. But anyway, let's start from the start. The
problem is when you go against the really, really rich and famous people who've got money to fight back, that's not a good idea if you're going to be in patent trial.
Well, this guy apparently he's won a certain amount of money. Look, I'll skip to the end. I'll tell you what he's won here. Last year, Texas jury ordered CBS to pay $1.3 million in damages to Personal Audio, which is the people that are claiming the patent, after finding it had infringed the patent after placing TV shows on the website. So it's all about you know how the RSS feeds work. So a new episode goes up on the website and then you can download it. That's sort of kind of what they've patented, or supposedly. And they're saying, well, anyone that does that has to pay money. And so obviously, you know, what we're doing now, podcasting, that'd be us. We'd have to license it in some way. But apparently Personal Audio lists Samsung, Apple, HTC and LG among the licensees of other music and podcast-related patents that it owns. So anyway, these guys have gone to court. And the latest decision could potentially prevent Personal Audio legally requiring media groups to pay if they update their sites to show new episodes. Now, the Texas-based company had previously targeted US firms, including CBS, NBC, and Fox. Like, you know, aim high, eh? go hard. But its efforts were challenged by a digital rights campaign group. Now, this was the Electronic Frontier Foundation, so they've challenged them. They've been funded via crowdfunding. So yeah, everyone's just chipped in, because no one wants to have to license a podcast. Now, the US Patent Office now has invalidated critical parts of the related intellectual property rights it had previously granted to Personal Audio in 2012. So the successfully challenged elements of the patent and it was based on two arguments. The suggested technique would have been obvious to other developers at the time, meaning it should not have been protected. The evidence given for this was that CNN had described a web-based video library of its own in 1995. Now, the Personal Audio patented in 1996, so we got a
prior art.
That's right. And the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation published a paper in 1996 detailing its trial of a system that allowed people to download radio shows from the web following their broadcast. This meant the technique had already been anticipated or described in a printed publication before the patent was filed, meaning related rights should never have been granted.
Booyah!
Yeah. So, look,
take that.
It looks like it's going in the right direction. So let's hope it keeps going that way.
Yep.
Any more, Jace?
Yeah, a bit of a funny one. A chess grandmaster's career is in the dump after officials flushed out a smartphone he hid in a toilet to cheat during an international tournament. Georgian champ Gayaz Nigalides was thrown out of the Dubai Open after his opponent, Armenian grandmaster Tigran Petrosian, suspected his frequent runs to the John were prompted not by the call of nature but cries for help from a chess app. The disgraced grandmaster, whose social networking account was logged onto the phone, had his moves analysed by the app. He faces a 15-year ban for his wrong move. Nagalides would promptly reply to my moves and then literally run to the toilet, Petrosian said after Saturday's match. I noticed he'd always visit the same toilet petition, which was strange since the other two petitions weren't occupied. Petrosian said he alerted the chief arbiter about his suspicions. After my opponent left the very toilet petition yet another time, the arbiters entered it, he said. What they found was a mobile phone with headphones. The device was hidden behind the pan and covered with toilet paper.
Oh, no.
Dubai Chess and Culture Club officials took to social media themselves Sunday to announce on their Facebook page that he was expelled. A cheating incident was found during round 6 by Georgian GM Gayaz Nigalides. Bravo to the chief arbiter Madhi Abdul Rahim for taking the complaint seriously and raising it to the tournament director. Electronic device was found in the toilet. The club, which he denied, which Nigalides denied owning the device when confronted, also posted a picture of the phone and an official game sheet.
Now, did you mention a Culture Club official in that?
Yes, Dubai Chess and Culture Club.
Oh,
Not
right.
Chess and Culture Club.
I thought that's where you're going there for a second.
Come, chameleon.
What's he doing these days? He's in the can, isn't
Come and go.
He's in the can, isn't he? That dude.
Was at some stage, I think.
All right. Now, if you want to watch us live, you can watch us live. You just go to the aussietechheads.com.au/live website. And when are we on? Well, it's 7:30 p.m. Thursday nights, East Coast. And work that out wherever else you are. Like PA has done. He's worked it out. And he's jumped on at 6:22 in his morning. He's in where is he? In the US somewhere. Now, has anyone heard of Hickory, North Carolina? Hickory. That sounds like it's a bit of a backward place, doesn't it?
Hickory Doc.
Yeah, so okay, 6:22.
Just insult our listeners.
Sorry, Hickorans. Hickorans. I'm sure that's what it's all about. I'll have a look on the download map and see if we get any downloads from Hickory. And then I'll go, dole. All right, so hi, PA. Have fun today. Okay.
Well, there you go. It was a false imprisonment conviction for Boy George.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Famous for furniture, Hickory, apparently. I've just been told. The late Mail.
So it would make sense being made out of hickory wood.
Windows 10. What is coming next? Well, that is a question that has been leaked this week. Codenamed Redstone. The update will be released to consumers in 2 waves in 2016, first in June and then October. The existence of Redstone was uncovered by a Brad Sams of NeoWin, who claims he received confirmation of its release date and code name from 2 internal sources. Oh, that will never be.
And do you know what's interesting about that?
The name of it?
Yes.
You can tell us. I know you want to.
It's from a type of ore in Minecraft. So now Microsoft has bought Minecraft. They're using a name of one of the ores out of Minecraft, which is used to create electronic devices in the game and programmable devices.
So, so it's apparently going to include parts of Windows 10 that had been left out due to just couldn't get finished in time, such as functions like the HoloLens. Yeah, HoloLens. You heard of that, Frank? The HoloLens?
Yeah, it looks
that's awesome.
Looks very exciting. If it's not just vaporware and it actually comes to reality, that could be an amazing.
Like their project for the room for the Xbox, where you hook up a projector and it would project the rest of the game against your walls with the game part you're playing on the television.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was something different. What was that? That was
Yeah, I'm saying possibly vaporware like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
In saying that, people have to go and experiment and do some R&D on different things, and hopefully something trickles to light in 10 years' time. But that HoloLens does look amazing.
Yeah.
Just not so sure whether it will actually live up to the hype.
It is hard to believe, isn't it? Because I saw the video when it was sort of launched, if you could say. It was that big Windows 10 event or something, wasn't it? It had about 5 people there. And they put them on. They showed this video. And there was, like, when you put the glasses on, it overlaid, the vision into the real world. So then it looked like you had a hole in the wall, and you could go over to the wall and, like, sort of go right close to the wall, and you could actually try and look down into this hole that was in the wall, but it's not, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
it's kind of like a
really
app where you would have a TARDIS that would land in your bedroom, right?
Oh, how good was that? Did you see that app?
You talked about it last show, yeah.
Oh, did I? Oh, the show's just mixed together.
You should try watching it sometime. You'll learn a lot of stuff. It's really cool.
Oh, I forgot about that app. I'll have to redo it, but that's good. Yeah, look, I won't go on about it again, but it's a good app. Did you have a look at it, Jace?
No, I'm not sure. Was it on Android platform or?
Oh no, Apple. All right. Frank, did you have any more stories? Anything else you want to talk about?
I have a small story here that I thought was a little bit interesting. Are you guys familiar with the radio bursts that have been picked up from the Parkes Observatory in Australia?
Yeah, I read what they discovered that was. That was great.
Yeah, well, here I've got an article here from Gizmodo. It says, for years, astronomers at the Parkes Observatory in Australia have puzzled over brief but intense radio bursts, which in some ways appeared to emanate from deep space.
Aliens!
No one had suspected, though, that these peritons were coming from the lunchroom until astronomer Emily Petrov decided to install a real-time radio interference monitor at the telescope. Apparently, when you open a microwave in the lunchroom before the door timer goes off, the magnetron inside doesn't have time to shut off completely, so you end up releasing a burst of radio waves into the room and sending the world into a spin about aliens might be trying to contact us.
That's got to equal the story a couple of years back of April Fool's story, where the astronomers and whatever they're going, what we've just discovered was that we can. All these lost episodes of Doctor Who, they're bouncing back to us. They were originally transmitted in
that was a good one.
1963.
I think that was from last year. Yeah.
Well, now, they've gone out into space, but hallelujah, these missing episodes, they've gone out as far as they can go. They've bounced off a planet. They've come back. We've recorded them. We're on fire. We've recorded them. So, and that was, unfortunately, was April Fool's. It was a good story, though.
Way to annoy a lot of Doctor Who fans.
Yeah, I fell for it. Yeah. I thought, how good's this? How good is it? Jace, any more for us this week?
Just a sad one. One of Australia's most successful game developers has closed its Canberra operations with management citing development costs. A spokesman for 2K Australia, the developer of Borderlands, the pre-sequel, confirmed the closure on Thursday afternoon. The company was the last big games developer in Australia. We can confirm we've taken steps to begin the studio closure process for 2K Australia in order to better manage ongoing development costs while improving the working proximity of our creative teams. We're very grateful for the team's valuable contributions to numerous 2K projects and are working with affected staff to explore reassignment opportunities where possible. Employment with the Canberra studio fluctuated between projects, but was often staffed by around 40 people. That's a bit sad. We need to do some more promoting and giving extra, money incentives to games companies in Australia.
Yeah, well, I suppose is it like anything? It's just there's just no money around. Or
Costs.
What is it? Yeah, just costs and stuff. Yeah. Look, I saw this one here today. I don't know why you would want this. Maybe you guys could tell me. But a 4K phone. Do you really need a 4K phone?
Sure, why not?
Apparently, Samsung have brought one out. Samsung last night became the second major vendor to release its 2015 smart TV range in Australia. Blah blah blah. It is about a phone, isn't it? That's right, isn't it?
Well, next there was rumours that the next Apple TV, which was going to be an actual television with a screen and everything, was supposed to be 8K. So,
but why would you want such a high resolution on a phone? Like, are you
can
really
watch your 4K Netflix on it, right?
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah. See, now you're thinking.
But can you possibly tell the difference in quality on a phone?
Crisp.
Yeah, but it's
I don't imagine you can tell the difference, but I don't know if this is right. But if you have a 4K phone and you wanted to stream that to, say, a TV that can do 4K, would there be a benefit then? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're using it as a conduit, that's the only thing I could see it being used for, which is a very niche, reason. Because like you were saying, if you've got a 5-inch screen, 30 centimeters from your face, I can't see why a 4K resolution would, be noticed.
That's right. You can see also, like, even with TVs, if you come from a 60-inch TV, you go and watch a 42-inch TV, well, the picture you're watching is instantly better because it's just smaller.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. All right, where are we going to? Frank, how are you going for stories?
I didn't really have anything else to be honest. I was going to mention the WWDC as well, you mentioned before. The only thing I sort of was going to add to that was, I guess for everyone that is, on the iOS side of camp, that we can expect probably, the new version of iOS, possibly some new updates to the programming languages, which of course we're interested in. So just keep aware of what's going to happen on the software side.
That just brings a question to my mind about when you get your kiddies to do the apps, they might make an iOS app or something, and by the end of the year they're going to have it up on the iTunes store. Now, when things go up in the iTunes store, do they go up under like a Scope ID name, or do they go up under whatever name? Yeah,
they'll come up basically for privacy reasons. We've got to make sure that we don't have young kids because a lot of the kids are only 8 or 9. They'll come up under our master account, so we'll control all the distribution of the apps for the kids.
Yeah, that's good because that was leading to where I was wanting to go. I was like, wouldn't it be good to be able to just go to one place and just see what apps these kids are making? Like just to see, okay, like these guys are just making, this is a good one, this is not so good or whatever, just see the quality of what's coming out. Yeah, that's excellent.
Obviously, we're not sure how Apple's going to take that if we start uploading, 500 apps a week or something to the App Store from one account. I don't know if they're going to cap it, so we might have to have a few different accounts. But
part of the thing is you have to sign a contract with Apple and you have to be over 18 to be able to do that.
Oh, okay, right. You might get a free pass to the WWDC, 500 apps a week. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading not long ago where this guy had made a ton of money, millions, out of the Apple Store by having somebody make a game for him in his design and then just reskinning it 500 times and releasing exactly the same game with the same characters, just with different skins on them and, different coloured cars or whatever is in the game. And he made a lot of money just because his game was there so much that was the thing that was visible in the App Store. So they must allow it to happen, because you would think after they've seen the same game, 3 or 4 times, they would stop it. But after he's done a couple of hundred.
Yeah, so well, I guess so, but I don't know. That's what it's there for. Upload. Now, look, just going back just before we probably leave this week, have you got any more stories, Jace?
I could squeeze in one more if you want.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the Netflix tax that has been getting bandied around, but you can go first. Tax
all the things, right? We can't make money one way, we'll figure out another way to get it. Overnight, the European Commission filed a complaint against the internet giant Google following a 5-year investigation into how the company operates. This could lead to billions of dollars in fines and change the way everything from booking flights to mobile software works in Europe. Here's a rundown. Allegations of abuse. The European Commission alleges Google has been abusing its power as the dominant search engine by favouring their own services at the top of the results, squeezing out competitors and stifling innovation. It works like this. When someone in Europe searches for a flight from London to Paris, they get paid ads at the top of the page, which are clearly marked, then a list of organic search results below. Only they're not as organic as you might think. The Commission thinks Google is ranking its own services, like Google Flight, above competitors like Expedia or TripAdvisor, saying it's systematically favouring its own comparison shopping product in its general search page results. After years of talk between Microsoft, Oracle, TripAdvisor and Expedia failed to solve the issue, an inquiry has been launched. It will initially cover shopping, but could also be expanded to look at travel and reviews and pose a threat to the digital ads that are one of Google's most lucrative revenue sources. Don't be evil, Google.
No, isn't that their motto? Don't be evil or something? Oh, have they changed it? It's still, isn't it that anymore? We don't know.
Well, whether it still applies or not once you get that big,
Yeah, look, I just wanted to just touch on this Netflix tax. I'm just thinking how silly it is, because look, I think everyone agrees that, I don't know, well, I probably agree that, yes, they should probably be paying GST. Everyone should be paying GST from a service that, say, is obtained in Australia.
Higher GST now soon, probably. They've been talking about that lately, right?
On what?
Increasing the GST on everything.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't reckon.
We'll see.
Nah, everyone's got to agree. That's not going to happen, I don't think. But or maybe to get Western Australia off everyone's back. But yeah, the Netflix thing, like, it's not Netflix that's going to hurt. Instead of $10.99, it's going to be $12 to subscribe. It's not going to, everyone's calling this Netflix tax, blah, 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 and why doesn't Netflix and Apple and all that pay the GST? Well, if they're forced to pay GST, well, then the prices will go up to compensate for it. Easy.
Yep,
I don't
exactly.
It's not a no-brainer, is it, really?
So just buy it from America and you won't get charged GST here.
Yeah, but, we got to pay tax somewhere along the line.
I hear some people already are watching Netflix from the US.
Oh, there's more content, isn't there?
So I've heard.
There's more content on the US one.
Yes,
is that why some people are doing that?
Well, some people did sign up because it wasn't in Australia yet.
Oh, are some people going to let that expire?
No. Some people will stay with the US Netflix until they drag it from their cold, dead corpse.
Right. All right. Look, that's just about the end of the show this week. So I hope you guys have had fun. Don't forget, you can see us on facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads, show notes at the aussietechheads.com.au webpage. You can contact any of us at Glenn, Will, Jace, Shane at aussietechheads.com.au and Frank at scopeiteducation.com.au. So thanks for coming in, Frank. It's been great to see you again.
Great, thanks for having me on.
No worries, and hope the Scope IT continues to boom and educate all our little kiddies. It'd be great.
Yeah, those franchises sound interesting.
Yeah, and you too, Jace. Thanks for coming in.
No worries. Catch you next time.
All right, and Frank, thanks for sponsoring the show for the last 3 months. It's been excellent.
Anytime. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to be helping out.
Excellent work. Thanks, Frank. All right, now that's it. So until next week, don't forget the AussieTechRadio.com and anything else that you might come across that we do. I can't remember it all. The paper. Haven't mentioned that for a while. AussieTechHeads.com.au/paper. Comes out two editions a day, morning and afternoon. Can you keep up with it all? No. Do it on your iPad. It's great. All right. So until next week, it's goodbye from all of us. Bye-bye.